Hey everyone, it's your girl Maddie here, aka Beavermosh, and today I am joined by Urlo and Poia of Ufomammut, who has a new album, Hidden, coming out May 17th off of Neurot Recordings. Urlo, Poia, how are we doing today? Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, it's fine. Thank you very much. Today is
Yeah,
fine. We were preparing things for the incoming tour.
of course.
Tomorrow we are leave our small town and we will reach some cities in Europe. So we are a little bit in a hectic period in this
Yeah, for
time.
sure.
So, but yeah, we are still alive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, moreover, the new album is coming out for Neurot and our label Supernatural Cat. So also this thing is making a lot of uh, stressing time, but
Yeah.
everything is cool.
Well, you mentioned your tour because you're kind of getting ready for that. I think you're already in the middle of it. You have a lot of dates lined up currently, and more to be announced from what I understand. What can listeners expect when they go see you live if they haven't seen you live already? What is this experience like? Sell it to my audience.
Well, this year we are celebrating 25 years as a band.
Hmm.
We are old guys, and
As you can see.
as you can see, of course. And so we are planning to do some old stuff and also the new album. So we'll see. It should be a nice combination of things. So we have plenty of songs to choose from. So it will depend on the city, on the
Yeah.
mood, and everything.
Yeah.
And we are looking forward to be on the road.
Yeah, like always, we will try to do our best. That that's the main thing. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
Well, yeah. So I want to talk about the record, but as you mentioned, it is your 25th year. You're celebrating it as a band, and I'm interested. What does it mean to be a band that has lasted for the last 2 decades and have people still interested in it? I mean, did you expect that when you started this band that they would get to 25 years?
Not at all.
it's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that we never thought about. We just wanted to go on composing and creating new music,
Yeah.
and little by little, years after year, we arrived at this point, and it's amazing. If we look back, it's amazing and strange at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but we didn't thought about that. We are just living the moment, and now here we are,
Yeah.
25 years of a band. That is not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad for our back, but
Oh.
but it's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, words get thrown around for your music. Some people call it stoner or psychedelic. And those are terms I've used to describe records that I'm reviewing because I think everyone just has like a deeply ingrained understanding of what psychedelic is. But I don't know if a lot of people can actually give it a concrete definition. In your mind, what is psychedelic music? What is stoner metal? Like, how do you define that?
I don't know. Well, psychedelics should be, in our case, could be very. I mean, if we consider the definition of psychedelia, that is looking the world with the eyes of a child,
Hmm.
and considering we are playing our music like we are children, so we are not so skilled in playing and whatever, we are very psychedelic, I could say. So in this way, probably we are a real psychedelic band.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, we see, and to be honest, we see music and everything like we are still children playing around the idea of going on tour, of
Yeah,
making new records, playing
Hmm.
music,
having fun.
having fun. Yeah, that is the most important thing while you do music. So I think that more than stoner, that I don't know how to describe the stoner genre or whatever, but psychedelic, hard rock, heavy music, or whatever can fit way
Yeah, yeah,
better for what we do, I think.
Sure. Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like psychedelic has a lot of music that gets kind of t given that label. You could think like maybe like the classic like Pink Floyd, a lot of like
Exactly. Yeah.
lush kind of droning textures, kind of oddball kind of sounds. But and I think that applies to your music too. But it's like I don't exactly know what that means, but when I know what it is when I hear it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
true,
Yeah,
true. It
yeah.
makes sense. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
So
you claim that this record is heavier and more crushing than your last couple of albums. Was that just a natural progression, or did you sit down with your bandmates to be like, this is going to be the heavy record? You know, how did that come to be?
Well, this record started years ago when we started a side project with Levre while we were still playing with Vita,
Hmm.
and some of the songs on this album were born for this project. Not the same, but let's say the skeleton of some songs. So we just started in playing with Lebra, and things came out very easily, very
Hmm.
heavy, and it was very cool to play with him. So when Vita left the band, it was the natural choice for us. Go on, continue to play with a band with someone that was already in the family. And so we added a few new songs to the album, some structures changed, but it came out naturally. I
yeah.
think there was not the idea of doing something very heavy. Honestly, Fenice was written after some of these songs that are in Eden. And so we just kept them aside and we say, okay, let's do this Fenice thing, this Phoenix reborning thing first, and then
Hmm.
let's take them these songs back and let's create something new that was going to be
Yeah,
Eden.
it's please don't. I don't want to make a similarity with the Beatles, but
Yeah.
at the end of their career, they had these two records out: Abbey Road and Let It Be.
Yeah.
And these two records are always they were created together, but I think that the last one was the first to be released, and then so it's a little bit confusing. So this record is actually older than the previous one, let's say. But yeah, the arrangements like Urlo was saying is new and natural. But yeah, it was composed before the split, and then it was recorded in was not
Last summer.
last summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's for us is already old, even if people don't know
Yeah.
this. So don't say to anybody.
Okay. Sure. Um, Another thing you have said that interests me is that when you describe some of your longer pieces, the ones that really spread out and kind of unfurl, you say they're like a painting. And I get where you're coming from, and I agree, but I was wondering if you could like maybe expound on that a little bit more. What do you mean by it being like a painting?
Hmm.
I don't know.
It's like uh, because things are think about the title we choose for the record. That means something that is not visible, something that is hidden
Mhm.
inside something else. It's like sculpting. It's like trying to find the shape of things
Uh-huh.
little by little, and carving the musical matter in some way, and cutting out what is not necessary for making the image to be visible. So
Yeah.
it's a sort of slow process of understanding what is already present in your mind as this idea of music. And like every artist, I think it's always a search for perfection that
Sure.
is impossible to reach. So we just see a glance of something in what we do, and sometimes we are very happy about that. And sometimes we feel, okay, maybe next time we want to do something different, because it's the engine of making art. It's never be totally satisfied from something.
Hmm.
So it's something more in your mind is perfect, but in reality, is something very human, very full of mistakes, very natural.
Yeah, because we are always evolving. So what is perfect today, probably it won't be tomorrow. So listening to something that you have done or watching something you have done or whatever, you always be critic on what you've done, unless you are probably blind because, because I mean, and also for this album, for example, we have moved on something different. We have tried to give the idea of this hidden thing, of, like Poya was saying, something that is already existing, but we have to dig to find it. And when we realized with our record label Supernatural Cat, the limited edition of the album, we use these photosensibles, sensitive colors. So the limited edition is totally white. And
Hmm.
when you put the album on the sun, the cover comes out like magic. So it's something that is even more something that is already there, but you cannot see unless you really open your eyes. That in this case is
Yes,
the sun, the light of the sun.
Sure, yeah.
There are different
yeah.
ways of.
So
And,
we extended this concept to the artwork as well. So this is the idea of having something that is not only the music but also the visual appearance of music. It's always been very important for us. Is fundamental. Like nowadays, music is free on the net, and but we are old guys, and we remember when we were younger, and we had to listen to the records, and at the same time watching the record covers, imagining things, and it was more and more relaxing, more focused on the music and what was happening on the turntable. It was
sure,
different way of listening to music.
yeah.
Nowadays, everything is more quick, more okay, let's listen to something else and switch between a song and another song. So it's we are trying to stay with our feet on our roots, but it's not easy because we still want to evolve towards the future in our way. So
Yeah.
it's a challenge.
Hmm. Now it's a good segue you talking about the visuals because you are all in this collective Malleus, this visual arts collective. And does that project is it kind of intertwined with Ufomammut or is it kind of a separate entity for you? Do they cross over? Is it kind of maybe the same thing in your opinion or
Yeah, we are the same people.
Yeah.
So more or less, apart from one member, we have Lou here in Malleus, and we have
yeah.
Levre in Ufomammut, but Urlo and Poia are still the same people. So
Yeah.
grew up together, trying to put art in our demo tapes at the beginning. So everything was always interlaced in some way, of
Yeah.
course, because it's not possible. Maybe one day we will leave our visual appearance to someone else and we see what happens, because
Hmm.
this is something that we have never experienced. We have always took care of everything about our band.
Sure.
So in a do-it-yourself way
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah. True
This is a good,
DIY.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, the only way moment in which we have something from other people is while we tour. For example,
yeah,
when we have this poster series by thanks to Secret Serpents, and there are different artists doing posters for different
uh,
shows. So we sometimes we see how people sees from the outside,
yeah,
our other artists see from the outside what we are. So this is nice at the
yeah,
end.
yeah. Yeah, and moreover, we have also, let's say, fourth member when we tour live.
Yeah.
That is Chicho, our sound engineer,
Of
because
course.
he is our real ear, in the meaning that we have never experimented how an Ufomammut concert was, because we cannot hear what's happening in the other side of the stage. So Chicho, we have to rely on him for the sound of the band. So he's a very important person that is responsible for our sound when we play live. So yeah, it's a do-it-yourself thing, but sometimes we need some extra people to take care of us in some way. So
Yeah, and I love when bands always kind of talk about, their producers or their sound engineers because there are people that are very talented that are behind the scenes that are not on stage that you don't really see in band photos, but they're very
oh
much
yeah,
an architect of the sound and deserve the credit for that.
Yeah, of course.
true,
Uh,
true.
Yeah, Chicho is very important
Yeah.
for us when we play live. Lorenzo Stecconi is very important when we record our
Hmm.
albums. So all these people from the outside has different roles, and I mean, we consider them as a part of a big
Yeah,
family.
yeah,
Without them, without whom we wouldn't be what we are, probably.
exactly, exactly.
yeah. Well, you've been a really solid, long-lasting lineup since the beginning, but except your drummer, the one person you have switched, you have switched over to a new drummer as of 2020. Now
Yeah.
you've had 4 years since that switch. Looking back, what is it like to have to replace a long-standing member from the beginning that's been there for more than 20 years?
It's like a rebirth in some way
Mm,
because I always thought that a band is made of the same people as long as possible, and after that, when things changes, uh, when things change, is difficult to start again from the beginning.
hmm
But we were so I don't know how to say that in English, but we wanted to go on because there was something that was still not said by this band. Because I think Ufomammut is more than a bunch of people. It's like a living entity in some way.
Yeah,
So due to the respect we owe to Ufomammut, and for the people who want to listen more music from us, we wanted to go on, and uh, we repeat it was the most natural thing to 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 change the drummer, and to have a new drummer that was already part of the family. So this is the main thing. We didn't want to search for a new talented drummer that was outside, like it was a normal job, let's say.
yeah,
It's always been fundamental for us as a band to be
mm,
an ensemble of people that we can trust, and we can share the things.
yeah,
So yeah, it's a good question as well, because yeah, we spent 20 years with Vita, and
yeah.
now a new part of the band is started. It's different, of course, because it's not the same, but we accept that, like life itself.
Yeah, and obviously a drummer is a big change. The drummer provides the skeleton of a band's sound. Like it
Yes,
is
yes,
so, it's so felt. It's such a physical part of the music.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think that today we are playing quite differently than before. And I can notice when we do the old songs, for example, I feel they feel strange to me because even if Lever tries to play like Vita, it's different. So I
yeah,
think there's something different in this band today, and I think I'm very happy because probably we needed to rebirth in some way, and after 20 years we were a little
yeah. Stuck in
yeah,
uh, in, an- in a cycle, in
yeah,
a circle, and now we are just open to new landscapes of music.
yeah,
yeah,
Moreover, the new drummer is younger than us. It's a different perspective on things,
yeah,
yeah,
and it's important to share different opinions, and it's like
yeah,
yeah,
starting again from ashes.
yeah.
In some
yeah.
way,
And I
we
wanted to
want to
ask
be
you,
dramatic, but yeah, this
yeah,
is the idea.
and I wanted to ask you, and you kind of answered that too. But like, has Lever like influenced the sound in a different way in any capacity? Has he like pushed you in a different direction that you probably didn't expect as a band, as a creator of music?
Well, I think that things came naturally with him. There was
Yeah.
not a plan. I mean, we with the Fenice maybe a little more because we said let's try to do something a little different or whatever. But then we played and things came out like they had to. That there was not a real plan. For sure, it's more technical than Vita is more precise. So we play in a different way, but because we are let's say forced to play in this way. And but I think that the nice thing of music and the way we feel music is just play and let it be and no
Yeah.
plans or whatever. Not for now. Even if we always say, oh, we should do something
Mhm.
different. We should do this. We should do that. Then we
Yeah, we always make the choice between what sounds better to us at the
yeah,
end, not what we want to do for being strange or
yeah,
to be different. It's just like you just follow the breath of the song without forcing it, something that is
yeah,
not coming naturally. So it's always a balance.
yeah,
It's it's nice, it's fun. Yeah.
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 Well, I have a kind of a fun question I wanted to ask to kind of indulge my curiosity because you are the first Italian band I've had on the show, and
Wow.
I
Thanks.
work in coffee, and people who work in coffee know that Italy is kind of like the place where coffee
Oh
is.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, can you tell me what exactly the coffee scene is like in Italy? You know, is it really like a shop to get espresso like on every corner, as like the stereotypes say?
It's pretty common in Italy to have
Yeah.
a big coffee machine
Yeah.
and to have the classic espresso that is a very short shot of coffee,
Oh
and we
yeah.
drink it at the end of the of in the morning or at the end of lunch. But it's a quick thing
Yeah.
because I met people from other countries that were surprised. Can we sit for drinking our? No, no, no. We stay here and take the coffee and go away. Just very quick thing. Just
Yeah.
one coffee. So it's not a ritual. It's more like uh, yeah, maybe it's a ritual.
It's a
Yeah,
ritual.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it's a very
the
quick one.
funny thing that I was thinking while you were saying this thing is that for real, if you go in a bar in Italy and you ask for a coffee, you will notice that the coffee machine is a giant one, and then our coffee is very short. So it's like
Yeah.
it's shrink
Yeah.
something,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just
yeah,
Yeah.
a drop of coffee, and it's very strong. For example, if you take it on the highway, it's even stronger
yeah.
sometimes. It's like drinking asphalt. So it's very good. And yeah, I think that today I must say that also outside of Italy you can
Yeah,
find good coffees because we are quite picky about
yeah.
coffee. But
Because they had the right machine.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. They
Yeah.
learned like we had very good coffee in Finland, I remember,
yeah.
sometimes in Germany, in Belgium,
And in the US
in
as
the
well.
US as
Yeah.
well. Yeah. And but sometimes you have to face with may I have a coffee? Yes, and they come with a thing like that, full of coffee, and I forgot to say espresso because
Yeah.
we call it coffee.
Yeah.
For us, coffee is just a drop of coffee. So we make these mistakes sometimes, and also in the States, I remember
Yeah.
the first time may I have a coffee, and then an American coffee, and I was no, I wanted an espresso. Okay, okay, it's good.
Yeah.
But the caffeine is the same at the end. So, but
Yeah.
it's quite short, the
Yeah.
Italian
Yeah.
one.
So like here in the States, I do have customers who I have plenty of customers who want that, who want the espresso and
Yeah.
just kind of drink it and get out and get on with their day. But
Yeah.
there are plenty of people who won't order a pour over, a cup of coffee and want to sit there for hours and with their laptops and do work or meet with somebody. And I guess that's not common in Italy from what I'm gathering.
Mm.
Maybe more with tea, probably.
Okay.
It's not
Yeah.
more like a drink, but the standard espresso is just for a quick it's a
Yeah.
Yeah.
quick dose. If you want to stay and work in bars now, it's
Mhm.
possible, of course,
Yeah.
because
Maybe to the young people, because
yeah,
now there are
Yeah.
more of Starbucks in
mm,
Italy, things like that. So Probably younger people is more
Yeah.
into this kind of thing. We are old
Yeah.
guys. We are
Yeah,
used to, oh, let's drink our coffee and go.
and fly away.
Yeah,
It's
very
really interesting that you mentioned Starbucks because I was gonna ask because I read an article that said Starbucks was trying to open up in Italy. Like, how is that gonna work? Starbucks' approach is completely different than like the traditional like
yeah,
Italian take to coffee.
Exactly.
Even here in the States, we think Starbucks is like a bastardization of coffee. Like it's just like not a real thing. Like
Yeah. I know that. I know that. I know that. I remember
yeah,
we were in the US some years ago, and it
yeah,
was during the Halloween time. So
yeah.
we went to this coffee place where all the people were dressed up like Starbucks, but they were proper. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a costume for the night,
yeah,
but it was so to be scary because the place actually it was a very good coffee shop and it was
yeah,
but the guys were dressed up like Starbucks
yeah.
people, so it was funny. Yeah,
So something as being a barista in the States, every coffee shop, like third wave coffee shop, the problem they have to deal with is because Starbucks decided that they are gonna make a macchiato, but it's not a macchiato. They're gonna like it's because it's like
yeah,
this tall ice sugary drink. And so sometimes people are like, oh, I want a macchiato. And we gotta explain, okay, what do you want? Do you want like the traditional, shot of espresso, which is a mark of foam, or do you want this like sweet caramel latte? And like, because they're surprised, they don't know that like Starbucks just took a word that existed for a long time and just like
yeah,
applied it to
yeah,
something completely different. And it's I don't know,
yeah.
but yeah,
yeah.
Is that
That's true.
it's like latte. Latte
yeah,
does it does mean it means milk, and that's it.
yeah.
For us, latte is milk. And macchiato, we can have macchiato caldo or macchiato freddo. That is hot macchiato or cold macchiato. So you put milk. It can be cold or hot from the machine, but it's a slightly different idea. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's interesting. I've never heard of a cold macchiato, so
yeah,
that's something. Yeah,
yeah. We ask for that.
yeah.
Macchiato freddo, grazie.
Yeah. We have different kind of coffee also with grappa or
Yeah,
some alcohol inside, and it's called not macchiato,
corretto.
corretto.
Yeah.
It's like
That is corrected,
corrected.
corrected with some alcohol and
So just a little
and
bit of alcohol, like grappa, grape wine.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
wine,
Uh,
then cappuccino. We have plenty of
yeah, cappuccino is
yeah,
pretty famous. Yeah,
yeah.
I've never been to Italy, but it's definitely on my bucket list. I do want to try all these
you
espresso
should, you
shops.
should.
Yeah, yeah. Is the and I guess my last coffee question is like, is the concept of an Americano, does that exist in Italy?
Americano. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think it
yeah,
is Americano.
yeah. We use
Yeah,
it.
just a shot of espresso in hot water, basically.
No,
It's the long one,
yeah,
the
Yeah.
Americano.
the coffee, the standard American coffee, we call it Americano
Yeah,
because it's a big one and they use a different machinery. I mean, the filter
yeah.
with the
Oh yeah,
My
okay, yeah.
my father uses to drink Americano at breakfast. Yeah, so I
Cool.
never understood, but
Yeah.
respected.
Yeah. Well, thank you for letting me have fun with that conversation. I don't get to
Okay.
have it a lot. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
something
Well,
different, yeah.
yeah. Well,
By the way, we have our own mocha
For the tour. Yeah.
oh,
On the
cool.
tour, we have an electrical mocha, so you never knows. And I'll show you. It's a little
because
off.
while on tour we do our own coffee. It is not
Awesome.
possible to have a proper one, and we use this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's that's good stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
Urlo, Poia,
part of
Ufomammut,
it.
those are all the questions I have for you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you to my patrons, of course. Before I let you go, I want to give the floor to you for any last words you have, any plugs, where can people see you on tour, all of that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So we will be touring Europe for now,
Yeah,
and we'll be around from UK after a lot of time because we didn't go there in 5 years, I
yeah. It
think,
was the
something
last
like that.
time was 2019. So
Yeah, so Scandinavia, Germany, France, then lots of festival during the summer.
Yeah.
We play some of it, and then we hope next year to come back to the States because also there the last time was 2019. So we were young and beautiful. Now we are
Yeah, now
old and ugly, but
and great.
and
Yeah.
gray. But we need to come back, and so we have to plan this thing for next year for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
we miss the States, especially some friends. We have
yeah.
friends there, and we want to be back as soon as possible.
Do you have a favorite city you like to visit? Not necessarily play, but just visit in the States?
We have many actually. We enjoyed a lot. Of course, the West Coast,
Of course.
also New York, also um, Austin, Texas. It was weird,
Yeah,
and
Okay.
also Albuquerque was
yeah, it
amazing.
was amazing.
Interesting. I've never heard that before, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it was fun.
actually, we went there because we were Breaking Bad fans. You know
Yes, yes, at his place in New Mexico. Yes.
exactly.
Yeah,
So it
Throw
was
a pizza
strange
on
for
the
the people.
roof.
They were saying, "Why you are here in Albuquerque?" And we said, "Because of Breaking Bad."
yeah.
Yeah, it was very cool because in the audience it was full of Native Americans, and
Yeah.
for us it was a blast. It was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, the original ones, the
Yeah.
real people
Also,
from.
Al Cisneros came.
Oh
The
yeah,
show.
yeah,
We were outside of the venue. We saw Al passing by. We said, "But this is Al Cisneros, or
yeah.
because we discovered he's living in Albuquerque, so
Yeah.
he was living probably, I don't know.
So it
And
was a nice
yeah,
surprise for us.
and
Yeah.
another place I really enjoyed was Salt Lake City.
Hmm.
Even there were not so many people, but the crowd was so warm, incredible. It was fantastic. We played with Sub Rosa,
Mhm.
so it was a
Sub
very,
Rosa,
very
phenomenal
fun.
band.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they were. It was very cool, and well, there are a
Yeah,
few
Chicago also was
Chicago, of
amazing.
course,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, apart from some situations, but just because we were tired or I really enjoyed
Yeah.
traveling around, especially it was super cool.
Cool. Well, I'm in Minneapolis, Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul. So if you do come to States,
Okay.
make sure you get there. I will come see you. I would be
Okay.
very so yeah.
Okay.
So
All right.
anyway, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me. This was a blast. And for
Thank
everyone at
you.
home, my name is Maddie, aka Beavermosh, and I'm signing off.